Hey, Wicked Dick here, taking a look at the Kings trade of Tyler Toffoli to Vancouver. The Canucks reunite the 70s line. Yes, it's Monday, February 17th, one day before my birthday. And given that I know Rob Blake must love all my critiques of him, I'm assuming this is a birthday gift. Yes, turning 21 again for the 400th time. Oh my. So the trade. It's interesting. A lot of the headlines that you see out there are just completely wrong. Tyler Toffoli traded to Vancouver for Tim Schaller. No. Okay, Tim Schaller is part of the trade. Let's just make it clear here. Tim Schaller is only part of the trade so they can make the money work from a cap perspective for Vancouver. Ignore Tim Schaller. This trade is about second-round pick in the 2020 draft, this coming draft, and a prospect named Tyler Madden. So I think if you look back last week and you didn't have the myopic Kings fans who are, we're making the playoffs this year. Sign Tyler, re-sign Tyler. He had a hat trick. Yeah, he had a hat trick in one game. Easy there. I think most of us thought they're going to get a second round pick and a prospect. That was the prediction. So no big surprise here, except the prospect that they got, Tyler Madden. This kid is a good player. So the specifics of him, he's the son of John Madden. John Madden was a center with the Devils when they were making their cup runs. I think he was also a center with the Blackhawks when they won their first cap when they had Buffalo, or the first cup when they had Buffalo. You might want to check on that though. But real stalwart player, one of those guys who was kind of key to winning a cup, did a lot of the dirty work and everything else. His son is much more talented than that. So his son has kind of odd measurables. He's 5'11", but he only weighs like 150, 155 pounds. And so I'm sure a lot of people are going to be like, he's too small. No, he's not. Go watch a game. Stop just speculating and bullshitting. Go actually watch the kid play. I know I wouldn't want to get in the way of any of your opinions before you actually, see the player. But trust me on this one. In fact, I'll even tell you what to go watch. Go to YouTube, do a search for Beanpot Final 2020 full game. So it's Beanpot, one word, Beanpot. So there's a tournament that happens in the North East in college hockey, and this is where all the elite teams are in college hockey. You have Boston College, Boston University, Northeastern. Madden is on Northeastern. Harvard, believe it or not, Harvard has an elite team. And all this. So the final is Northeastern versus Boston University. Boston University's number one line center is Trevor Zegras. You might remember him from last year. Top 10 pick, Anaheim Ducks, incredibly skillful player. He is everything that's advertised to be there. And everything that people said about him in the draft, he's even better. My personal view is there's a very good chance that when we look back in 5 years at the draft from last year, Trevor Zegras will be the best player. This kid is unbelievable. The stuff you saw him doing on highlight films, he does that like all game long. And so he's the number one center on BU. Tyler Madden is the number one center on Northeastern. And so he and Zegras are going up then head to head for most of the game. Zegras is excellent, but Madden does not give an inch. And Madden is out there, dueling with him. Madden scores. The Northeastern offense is built around Madden. Northeastern is actually missing two of their better players in the game from injuries. And so Madden has to take on even more of the load offensively and from the face-off dot and everything else. And he performs admirably. Now Madden is the anti-King when it comes to forwards. One of the biggest complaints I have with Kings forwards, they all play the perimeter game because those point shots are really going to beat an NFL or an NHL goalie. Tyler Madden does not play a perimeter game. Tyler Madden is going to the net, and he's going with ill intent and the puck. And you best get out of his way or he's going to shoot it into your nuts and throw an elbow at you. He's got a lot of Mike Richards in him, a lot of Matthew Tkachuk. And he's not the heaviest guy, but this guy likes to play physical, and he's not always sure where the edge is. His typical thing is in the first, shift or two, he'll make a run at some player on the other team. In fact, if you go watch the Beanpot Final, the game I just suggested, I believe he makes a run at one of the BU guys. Not only does he make a run at him, but he makes a run at him into the BU bench. So he and the guy go flying up over the bench. The BU players are throwing punches at him, and it's a great game to watch. It's one of the better games you'll see in a while. So this kid is good. I would rate him. He was a 3rd round pick when he was originally taken, probably because of his size. I think if you watch him now, I would say he's a mid 1st round pick at least. This kid is very good, elite goal scorers. When they run their plays on the power play at Northeastern to try to score, they run them for him. He's the shooter. And in fact, if you watch the Beanpot Final, you'll see him score on a structured play. Really, really good kid. You're going to love this kid. And so on top of that, if you look at the Kings prospects, the thing we always complain about, 5 million bottom 6 forwards, no top 6 forwards. Well, we're starting to get them now. Madden is a top 6 forward. To me, he's a 2C, kind of a classic 2nd line center, but he can play wing, 1st line, 2nd line, whatever you want. You've got Velarde, who's coming back health wise. You got Turcotte. Don't worry about Turcotte. Turcotte's going to be fine. Those are 3 guys right there. And then of course, Fagemo, we'll have to see, does his game translate to the smaller ice? He looks pretty good. You would have to think at least a 2nd line winger, maybe a 1st line winger. And then of course, Kaliev, who has a clear 1st line winger offensive scoring talent, but the rest of his game we have to wonder about. But if those players work out, you're looking at right there 5, top 6 forwards. And then of course this draft, we're going to have a top 5 pick in a forward heavy draft. There's only one top 10 defender that you see most people talk about, and I've watched him play, and I don't see it. The kid's good, not great. He's small. Drysdale, whatever his name is. Yeah. If there were other forward or other defenders, elite defenders in this draft, I don't even think he'd be in the top 10. So anyways, personal choice would be that they bring in, another elite forward, whether it be the Frenchie, the big center, Stutzel, whoever it is, pick whoever you like. But the Kings are definitely loading up on some top end forward talent. That's nice to see. And Madden's just another addition to that. So really, really like the trade. I think they did really well. So grades, Kings, A. Seriously, and I'm not a Rob Blake fan. This is a good trade. This is a very good trade. For Vancouver, well, if Toffoli joins the team and they go win the cup, A. I think if Toffoli joins the team and they can re-sign him, then, you kind of have to see how it plays out. Maybe a B. I don't have any harsh things to say about Toffoli. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of his game, but, he certainly has had some nice goals and he contributed to a cup run. So he'll have my eternal thanks. But, we'll have to see. Now, if Tyler Toffoli, Vancouver doesn't go win a cup and Toffoli doesn't sign in Vancouver, then this is like a D for Vancouver, maybe an F. And you have to go look at the Vancouver boards and read all that. And they're not too happy with this trade. Not because they have a problem with Toffoli. They just think like they gave up a lot. And I have to agree. Toffoli is a 2nd line winger. Well, Madden by himself, is a 2nd line center at least, and can easily be a 2nd line winger. And I think will score as much, if not more, than Toffoli, because Madden is much more aggressive. So interesting. We'll just have to wait and see. With these trades, you never know. Sometimes it makes all the difference in the world to bring in the vet, and sometimes it falls flat. But Kings A, Vancouver, for now, let's say B. And then for the Kings moving forward, you look at the draft pick. Well, the Kings now have in this draft: a 1st, 2 seconds, 2 thirds, I think 2 fourths, maybe even. So this is a deep draft. There's a lot of potential. You see, last year we picked up Kaliev and Fagemo in the 2nd round. So we have 2 picks this year. Maybe they can repeat that kind of a thing. And we still have the Martinez trade that I think everybody assumes is coming. And it'll be interesting to see what we get from Martinez, because with defenders, you see what happened with Green. I think most people think Green being traded to, who did he go to? The Islanders. He's really at the end of his career. I mean, pretty much done. So I think a lot of people are surprised to see how much the Islanders gave up for him. And with Martinez, I think you got a lot more than you would with Green. So it'd be interesting to see. So anyways, I think all in all, this is a very good trade, very good situation for the Kings. Now, quick word. How are the Kings going to perform the rest of this year? Bad. They don't have much goal scoring. We just took away one of the guys who can score. And, you see people saying, well, what about the short term? Well, who cares? We're on pace for 65 points with Toffoli. And this isn't a knock on Toffoli. We just don't have enough skill. And the reason we're trading away these guys is so we can accumulate skill and bring it all up at the same time. So we're going to be bad the rest of the year. And probably going to be bad next year too. Because, again, we have a gap between our NHL high-quality players, the few of them that are left, and our high-quality prospects. I get it. Lizotte, great story. We all love Lizotte. Wagner, woohoo. But these guys are not elite players. Or as the Ewok King tries to say nicely, we don't have a lot of finishers. The finishers are these elite kids, these Turcottes, Maddens, Velardis, Fajimo, Kalievs, these kinds of guys. They're still, a year or two away. Now, maybe we see Gabe next year. Would he make a difference? Yes, we would have a real second line center for the first time since, legitimately since Carter was hurt. I mean, let's be honest. I like Jeff Carter. He's not the player he was. But are they going to bring Velarde and Bjorn Foot up onto a team that's probably going to be awful next year? I mean, just from a losing perspective, do they want to do that with those guys? Or do they want to leave them with the rain and bring in the Turcottes and Fajimos and these kinds of players and, try to develop maybe a core down there and then move them all up at once kind of a thing? I don't know. We'll have to see. But Kings going to be worse. Probably going to be bad next year too. And then the year after that, you guys see a lot of these kids are going to start coming up. So patience, the P word. Now I have to say overall, of course, this all really pains me because how I like to finish my videos with a certain firing of a certain individual because I don't think much of him. But I have to say, Blake did well here. He got an A. So I'm going to grab both testicles in my cold hands, hold them up high to my stomach and say, don't fire Rob Blake. Deke out.